Welcome back to After Effects. My name is Bench, and we've got a new preset to be showing you this time. It's one that we've created ourselves. It's a really exciting thing. It's called Angler, and it does something like this. So we've got 3 points here, no objects, and we're going to create a solid, like so. We'll call it Angler, and we'll go over here, and we're going to drag the preset Bench's Angler into here. And you'll see we've ended up with a whole heap of different things. And what it's done is has created us a little circle, a donut, with 360 written on it. And just a quick note here, this section here where it's got all the bracketed effects, don't worry about that, don't need to touch anything. It's just this section up the top that we're going to be worrying about. So if we go up the top, we'll be able to see it has point 1 pivot point. So we're going to choose point 1 for that. Point 2, we'll choose point 2. Point 3, we'll choose point 3. So there we go, we've got that selected, and if we zoom back out, you'll see, oh, what's happened? It's gone and selected and moved around. So it's drawn some lines between our points. This one here is point 1, as you can see written there, and it's got this number that's appeared, and you'll see that as we move it around, it is updating, which is really cool. If we drag one of these around, same deal, the number slowly rotates around. Same deal here, kind of loops around and then repeats. And it's all on just the one layer as well, which is very nice. So we've chosen those. We'll have a look at some of the other options we've got up here. So we've got Show Angle, which if we check it off, you'll see it shows the angle. The next one is Show Lines, which obviously shows the lines. The next one we have is Show Both Angles, which shows both sides of our blue donut thing. The next one is Invert Angle, which you'll see we can choose which side of the line that we want to show the angle. Then we've got Flip Displayed Angle on 180. And what this will do is, before, how it would get to this point and then become a big circle again, it actually flips between them and will flip on the 180. So in this case it is showing the smallest angle, and it will always show the smallest angle. What we can do is use the invert angle as well, and now it will always show the biggest angle, and it's flipping again like so. So that's flip on 180, and that's invert angle. So I'll toggle it back. The next one is Animate In. What that lets us do is actually animate the whole thing in. So you can keyframe that to introduce all your different angles at the same time. Next we have a whole heap of different things. We have Angle Circle Size, which adjusts the circle. Angle Thickness, Angle Circle Thickness, which is that thickness of that circle, and the opacity for that circle. So the opacities are interesting. We've got the opacity for just the circle, and then we've got the color for that circle as well. And then we have this one here, which, if I open it up, is Angle Text Opacity Tint to Circle. And what this does is it will tint the number, and the number will be tinted to whatever your background color is, or whatever your circle color is. But if we put that to 0 and we put our circle to 0, you'll see our number's still there. That's because the way that number is created, it doesn't actually have an opacity variable. So the other thing we've provided is down here, we've also got angle opacity, which we can then use to fade the whole thing in and out. So if you want to fade the whole thing in and out, you have the ability to do that. So we've tried to give a couple of options in that. What else have we got? Well, we have angle text color. We can change the color of the words. We can adjust the position if it's not quite lining up, or if we want to have it out earlier. If we try to push it beyond that, we're not going to be able to see it, so don't try and push it onto the other side, trying to trick people with the wrong number. The other thing is we've got angle text decimal place. This rounds up or down, so it won't take, obviously you can't have a decimal number of places, so it's just going to round up and down. Currently it's on 1 decimal place. We can adjust the size of this text, obviously, so if you wanted to animate that into appearing, you could do that as well. Opacity we've seen, and then we've got line thickness, which we could animate in as well, and we've got line color. So we've got quite a few different options that we have here in this one little preset, and it's all on the one layer. So what's this look like in a practical example? Well, we have some exercises here from a recent project, and you'll see I've tracked all the different joints, and what we can then do is create a new solid and drag our effects over, and we can tweak some stuff in here. So we can say our pivot point will be our knee, our second point will be the foot, and the next point will be our hips. And there we go, it's snapped into place. What we can do then is we can say invert the angle. We might bring this circle in a bit, and we might drop the circle opacity down to say 50, so it's a little less obvious that it's there. And we'll drag it along, and we'll be able to see that it's quick to update. It moves well. We can see that number, nothing weird happening there. What we can then do is duplicate it, and then all we need to do is change our points. So in this case we'll go shoulder, we've got our hip, and we've got our elbow, and we might invert that as well. So now we've got the point in there, and we'll drag it along. Oh, what have we got there? So we see it kind of flips over, so we want to use the flip displayed angle on 180. So now when that elbow goes up and above, we can see that number stays in place and doesn't randomly appear all nice and big. And again, at the end, if we look, an arm swing down, it's the same deal. What we can do is duplicate it once more, and we can do the elbow to the wrist, to the shoulder. And we can bring that number in as well. Shrinky bit like that. And there we go. If we preview that, you can see all the numbers are updating quite quickly. You can see it follows the motion fairly well, and there's no really weird stuff happening. So that's what Angler does. You can use it for whatever you want it to do. So you can use it for graphs, you can use the lines, you can make it just the lines if you wanted to. You can go in, switch all the angles off. Off, off, off. And you can show it just with the lines overlaying what's happening, or you could do it the other way. Switch the angles on and just have it just as angles. Oh, what have I done? Gotten confused. That's alright, that's alright. Oh, not right. There we go. You can see there's this angle, there's that angle. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. The other thing, which is pretty cool as well, is if we switch everything back on like that. The whole thing doesn't need to be on top of where the nulls are. You can move it next to them and you'll still get the exact same movement as it's recorded. All the numbers still count, still work. You don't even need the video. I mean, obviously you do need the null objects, and if you move one of these nulls, so I'll demonstrate it for you, you'll see that we've got all these tracking motion data, but if we grab the position now and just pushed it, you'll see it's going to react. So, but it's very responsive as well, as you can see. We can grab these, reset the position of them. So that is Anglo. I look forward to being able to release it to you guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.